Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally happened. We've gotten so sick of tired of Derek changing his shirt every episode that we've decided to do assigned uniforms for the shows for the foreseeable future. Derek, how you feeling about this decision so far?
Well, you made it very, very clear. You go, for the first show, you will be wearing a shirt that I'm going to give you, and I will even drive over to your house to drop off said shirt, and you will wear said shirt for the very first show. So you will see two other shirts on later shows, but today I'm wearing the show-approved shirt, which are incredibly, incredibly comfortable and soft, by the way. Thank you.
Where do you go from there?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the DVC Show. I am your host, Paul Krieger, joined as always by my lovely wife, Amy Krieger.
Hello.
Senior Sales Associate for the DVC Resale Market, Derek DeBoer.
Hey now, happy Monday, everybody. Good to be back. Good to be back.
And the Honorable Jeff Haslam.
Hey, everybody.
You have to take the hat off and top of the ball.
My hair's pretty bad today, but it's
yeah.
fine.
Okay, keep the hat on. Keep the hat on. Well, welcome this week to a very special episode of the DVC Show, and I hope that if you just come here for DVC knowledge, that you will stick around because what we are talking about today is very near and dear to our heart, and it is our Keyholder Vacations, what was formerly known as Give Back November, now known as our Keys to Kindness campaign that we are launching throughout the month of November. And I always feel special to there's been a lot of moving parts behind the scenes for the past few months, and it's exciting that we're finally here and doing it all.
Yeah, and this Keys to Kindness campaign has multiple parts to it this year, which is really exciting. So we're gonna talk about what different aspects we have, and then I did a very, very special interview with a member of our community. Her name is Alysha McDonald, and we are going to show that after.
Yeah. And just so that you're wondering, Keys to Kindness campaign, what are we benefiting? We are benefiting Give Kids the World Village, which is an amazing organization. We have done fundraisers for them the past few years. Amy and I even had the opportunity to go and volunteer at Give Kids the World. Was that like 2 years ago, I think it was?
It was 2 years ago. Yeah. And if you don't know what Give Kids the World is, it is an organization that grants wishes for terminally ill children and their families to come to Florida. They stay at the village that's located in the Kissimmee, Orlando area, and then they get tickets to theme parks, and they get to experience different things just depending on what their wish is. Of course, a lot of times it's Disney or Universal or Legoland or Gatorland, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, just depending on what the child is excited about. And so that organization, they provide all the housing and the tickets and basically just make the process so worry-free for the family. We've even seen them, at the airport picking up the Wish families, starting off their vacation, giving them a break from, the reality and in the situation, what they're going through. So it's very special to us. We have been at the village multiple times. They used to do the Night of a Million Lights, which they did during the pandemic. That was, an amazing experience. They still light up the village now, even though they don't do the Night of a Million Lights and having all the people come, but they still light up the village for the families that are staying there. And we've gotten to go to a few of the Christmas soirees and seen the village lit up. And then, of course, in November, a few years ago, we got to work the carousel, which was a very fun, a little bit nerve-wracking experience.
Fulfilling and nerve-wracking all at the same time.
Very
I feel very nervous being put in charge of a ride vehicle with people on it, but we did good. We did a pretty good job.
We did.
Jeff, you actually got to head over and do one of the soiree events with us a few years ago. How was that?
I did, and it was, to this day, one of the most memorable and heartwarming experiences that I've ever been involved with personally. My wallet tends to disagree. It wasn't very warming for it, but it was such a good cause that we were just throwing money at things, because they do auctions and giveaways and raffles and it's such an amazing, group of people that handle this big moving machine, just all kinds of things for people to do while they're staying there, from merry-go-rounds and trains to ice cream to just all kinds of stuff. The facility itself is just very, very special.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what people fail to understand fully is that, like Amy said, these people are coming down here. This is an all-inclusive vacation that they get to experience. They stay at the village, they go to the theme parks, they eat there, and they take care of them, and they have a very memorable and magical week there. For, I think, Amy and I, and maybe Jeff, like, it's something that, for us being kind of newer transplants to the Florida area, it's been fun to experience Give Kids the World. But I imagine, Derek, as a local native, this has been something that, you've known about for a long time and kind of been involved with in various ways.
Yeah. And it's one of those organizations that once you find out about it and once you get information about it, and you hear stories about it, it's just one of those things where you're like, this is the most unbelievable organization. And I've had so many people over the years that may not have ever given to a charity organization before, and they've experienced and they've donated to Give Kids the World, because, like you said, it's an opportunity for these parents and these kids to just not have to worry about life for a while. That I think, and it's very emotional, that I think all of us, love our Disney Vacation Club, and we love coming on vacation because, we get to forget about the real world for a week. I don't have to think about work for a week. For these families that come down as part of Give Kids the World, they're not just forgetting about work, right? They're forgetting about doctor appointments, and they're forgetting about chemo, and they're forgetting about everything else that is just so unbelievably heartbreaking. And just let them just focus on a magical vacation. Let them, not have to worry about, we've got this appointment and this here, or we're waiting for this result or here. It's fun stuff. Like, what do you want to do today? Should we go to Disney today? Should we go to Universal? Should we attempt to ride the carousel that Paul is going to control for our family? But no, it's a fantastic organization that the DVC resale market was lucky to be involved with for a few years. And I even remember our first year we did, back when it was, I think, Give Back November, and we were able to raise thousands and thousands of dollars for them. So it's always that time. And I know we're going to get into all the different arms and legs of different ways that you can give that you may not even realize that you are giving. So that's what makes it really, really great.
Yeah.
And on top of that, sorry if I can just cut in here. My ex-wife's nephew had a wish granted by Make-A-Wish, and it wasn't to come to Disney. It wasn't Give Kids the World, but to see how that organization, interacts with Give Kids the World, with Disney and some of these other theme parks. It's not just putting people on a plane and flying them and then driving them to Disney. No. They do their best to handle all the medical needs that these kids are dealing with. And we're not talking the flu, these are very serious illnesses. And like Derek was saying, chemo and medical visits and doctors, and Give Kids the World just has such a finger on that pulse, that it just really does give not only the kids, but those parents and those family members that get to join those kids a real life break.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. And I think it's tremendous to kind of start to measure the impact that this show, this amazing DVC fan community, our entire Keyholder Vacations companies, all of those brands have had on Give Kids the World over the past few years. So at its most basic sense, and I'm talking about last year here. Last year, all of our core companies, so DVC Resale Market, DVC Rental Store, Monera Financial, Be Our Guest Vacations, Magic Vacation Title, all of them essentially are giving back a portion of proceeds during the month of November to Give Kids the World Village. And I believe that the total on that was around $15,000 that was given last year alone from all of those proceeds. Now that's tremendous in its own right, but we have done basically for DVC Fan, just put up a fundraising page each year for this, for you, our community, to give back also. And last year we raised somewhere around $10,000, I believe, total, just as our DVC fan community. So last year, $25,000 was raised, and such a profound thing. And we've done this for several years now. So when it got brought up several months ago, I kind of said, and you know, we all work in areas of this company, and you know, we do our work on a daily basis, but to do good in this regard is special. And so it really motivated us to think outside the box and try to do some different things this year. And so that's why we've kind of pivoted from Give Back November to kind of Keys to Kindness, and really focus on the many different ways that we can give kids the world.
Yeah. So the first one that we want to bring up is that we want to encourage you, especially if you are local to the Orlando area, or if you're going to be visiting during this time, to consider signing up for the Gingerbread 5K. It is located at Give Kids the World Village. What is really cool about it is it takes place in the evening. Paul, remind me of the date, because I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, and I will preface this because there's a couple of things we're ironing out with some details of some other stuff that we're about to announce here. Mm-hmm. But it's possible that this episode might go up right after the Gingerbread 5K. Yeah. But if it goes up before and you are able to join us, that is going to be on the evening of Saturday, November 8th.
Yeah, and if it goes up after, thank you for joining us. But you get to be running under the lights. So that is something very special. You don't always get to see that. So something to consider. And if you miss it this year, guess what? They do it every year. So,
and we said running, really cool. But we also mean that you could walk. You could roll.
You could do whatever. Whatever works for you. Working for Take it in. Experience the lights. Whatever works for you. But there are going to be several members of the DVC fan team that are running. Paul and I will be there. Alysha, who is going to be, who you'll see our interview with, she's going to be there with her daughter, Natalie. And I believe Jeff Gervasio is going to be running with us as well. So
yeah, it's going to be a real special event. And I think what's unique to it this year is that Give Kids the World is also offering the ability to do a virtual version of the Gingerbread 5K or Gingerbread Run. So, if you're not able to be down here for the event, check that out. Also, again, it is over at givekidstheworld.org where you can register for that run. The other ways that we've kind of come up with this year, again, our Keyholder Vacations brands are all, again, going to donate a portion of proceeds during this month of November back to Give Kids the World. We're very excited about that. But you might be wondering, what are these magical shirts that we all have on, and why did we decide to have matching uniforms? And for that grand reveal, I'm just going to ask Derek to stand up and turn around real quick, because I just mainly want him to have his Vanna White moment here for us, and show us these shirts in their entirety here.
This is going to be a little bit.
Oh, yeah. This is what the people came to see, really. Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, not really. I'm just going to put a picture up. I really just wanted to see if you'd do it more than anything.
That was a valiant effort, Derek.
Yeah. We worked with a local shirt designer. Her name is Bree at Darling Dream Company. And we kind of said, hey, what would be something cool that our community could get on board with and actually purchase with all of the proceeds going to Give Kids the World? And so we said, why not a shirt? And we previewed this, I think a couple weeks ago on our Oktoberfest show. But this could not have come out better, in my opinion, in terms of the design. And I
believe, tell me if I'm wrong, but there are two options where you can have this as the front of your shirt.
Correct.
The Keys to Kindness with all the little, nods to Give Kids the World and our companies. Or that can be what we're wearing, which is on the back of our shirt. And then we have the little Keyholder Vacations logo in the front. So you have both those design choices as well.
Correct. And we figured that you probably don't want to necessarily be a walking billboard for Keyholder Vacations on the front of your shirt. So I believe the front and back version is actually, it has that Keys to Kindness logo, basically right there on the chest portion of the shirt where we have our Keyholder Vacations logo today. So
and thanks so much, Paul, for giving me the one where it's on the back. Because if it was on the front, I simply could have stood up without pulling a muscle.
I like to make you have to dance. That's that's part of the show you never signed up for. Actually, I make Jeff dance more than I make you dance most days.
Yeah.
My nickname is, in fact, Dancing Monkey.
It's true.
But super, super thankful to Bree and Darling Dream Company for putting together this shirt. It was kind of a last minute thing that we decided to do, but we love how the whimsical elements of Give Kids the World, the carousel, the train, the hot air balloon, all kind of intermingle with all of our Keyholder Vacation brand logos. You can see the suitcase for DVC Rental Store, the Unlocked Magic logos on there, DVC Resale Market right above the carousel horse. And then, of course, we had to put DVC Fan right on the train right there.
Yeah. And it's also just a really nice quality shirt. So I was very surprised.
Yeah. That was the first thing tonight when we jumped on this call, Derek said, is he was like, Paul, this shirt's no joke. Like, it's worth every penny. So if you are interested in purchasing this shirt with the proceeds going back to Give Kids the World for this and everything that we talk about tonight, you are going to head to keyholdervacations.com/kindness. And from that site, you are going to find information about everything that we talk about here within the next few minutes and throughout the show. So we've talked shirts, we've talked Gingerbread Run. Now the one that I'm really excited for. So we have been plugging our Keyholder Vacations group cruise for quite some time. And we have had, I think, over 60 staterooms.
60. We have 60 staterooms booked right now.
60 staterooms.
Yeah, it's like 120 something, 26 or something people.
Yeah. And we made sure that you are all within walking distance of Jeff and Derek's rooms so that you're really close by. You can knock on their door, head out, have some breakfast on their balcony in the morning. But I know that
which we would be fine with, but Amy and Annie might have something to say. I don't know.
I think they would.
But thank you to everyone that has booked that cruise so far. But I know many of you out there maybe have seen the price of the cruise and it's not attainable for you. So we went to Give Kids the World and we said, hey, here's what we want to try to do. We want to do a giveaway for the ability to go on our Keyholder Vacations group cruise next year. And we want people to be able to basically purchase raffle tickets for that giveaway with every single dollar going back to Give Kids the World. And that's exactly what we've done. So you will have the ability to go on our Keyholder Vacations group cruise next year. And I had to pull up the other thing on the side over of my computer screen just to go through this real quick because it is more than just that cruise. So let me quickly go through the prize package as we have it designed. The winner essentially will get one ocean view balcony stateroom aboard Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas for 2 guests in a double occupancy cabin, and that is for our Keyholder Vacations group cruise, which is July 20th through the 24th, 2026. If you need to travel via air, or if you reside out with outside 100 miles of the cruise port area, we will also be providing a $500 travel credit towards that airfare. You're also going to be able to want to come in early, come in that weekend before the cruise. The cruise leaves on a Monday and then gets off on a Friday. Yep. That weekend before, so I guess the 18th and 19th, that Saturday and Sunday, we are going to be doing a lot of fun things around Walt Disney World. So we're bringing you in a little bit early. You are going to have 2 nights pre-cruise in a deluxe studio villa at Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort. You are also going to get 2 one-day park hopper tickets for you and your guest so that you can head into the theme parks on Saturday. If needed, you can have ground transportation from the Orlando International Airport to the Walt Disney World Resort, and also transportation from the Walt Disney World Resort to Port Canaveral to get on that cruise ship on Monday. Last but not least, we know you're going to want to eat. maybe buy a souvenir or two. So you will get a $250 Disney gift card.
Wow.
The estimated approximate retail value for the entire package is $5,200.
That's amazing.
We're probably going to get this question a lot. What if I'm already booked on the group cruise? And so we've already considered that. You should definitely still try to win the package. If you're already booked on the group cruise, what's going to happen if you're the winner is we are going to refund your deposit, and then we are going to be paying your final payment. And then you'll get all the other goodies that come with the prize package.
Yeah. And this entire prize package is being donated by Keyholder Vacations, our parent company, to Give Kids the World, so that every single dollar, every single raffle ticket sold, every penny goes directly to Give Kids the World. This is that thing for me where I said I can't even estimate the impact maybe this giveaway might have. So please, 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 if you have thought about maybe going on our group cruise, or if you have $10, $20 to spend, buy some raffle tickets, and hopefully we will see you aboard Utopia of the Seas next year. Again, all information.
Derek, you're not eligible.
No, we already gave you a free cruise, Derek. Yeah, you're already going for free.
And what Derek doesn't know is the ground transportation that the winners get is going to be Derek and I in like taxi hats. My car will pick them from the airport.
Just shuttling back and forth as fast as you can.
I would advise people to double check
tickets, Jeff. We're trying to sell tickets.
I would advise people to double check the terms and conditions because I'm pretty sure that element will not be in there. So, but yeah, keyholdervacations.com/kindness if you want to find the link to then register, get those raffle tickets. This will be open, I believe, throughout the entire month of November. Those dates are still a little bit in flux though. So, head over to the website and please enter, and we'll be sharing a lot more information about that over the coming month. Yes, Derek.
And I can't even begin to tell people, if you're wondering, like, are these events fun? Like, should I attend one of these DVC fan events? Are they fun? I can tell you, honest to God, we just wrapped up Oktoberfest a few weeks ago, and I'm still laughing about some of the great memories that I had through Oktoberfest. I'm still talking with folks that I met at Oktoberfest. Jeff and I just ran into Eric and Tara from Oktoberfest at our beer fest last weekend. This community is so awesome and so much fun that you will literally make friends that you will have way beyond when these events are over. So I can't imagine how much fun we're going to have on a boat. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, we had an influx of cruise bookings, cruise quotes after Oktoberfest. So I think a lot of people enjoyed being around the community and decided they wanted to go on the cruise. Yeah. So.
And if you're still thinking about it, that link is over on that Keyholder Vacations website also, and you can put in a request for a quote there. The last two things I want to bring up before we kind of segue into our segment with Alysha is on their most basic form. I know Amy kind of touched on this briefly, but volunteer, donate. Those are the two big things that Give Kids the World. I receive emails all the time of the many, many different volunteer positions that need filled on a weekly basis at Give Kids the World. Amy and I try to get over there when we can. But if you are down here and you find yourself with an extra day and looking for something to do,
there's so many things you can do. Scooping ice cream to working one of their accessible rides to, helping with the trail rides at the pool, delivering pizza. There's just so many things that you can do, helping with crafts and things like that. So if you've got, if you're local, it's a lot easier. But if you're coming down on a vacation, you've got an extra day, consider, heading over to Give Kids the World Village. It is an easy, ride share away from Disney. We've actually taken an Uber there before. So, whatever gets you over there, go to their website, givekidstheworld.org, check out the volunteer opportunities, sign up, get the regular email where it tells you, what their needs are, and consider it. It's a very, very rewarding experience.
And
it's a super, super rewarding experience, and no joke. I have had members tell me that they've taken obviously tons of Disney trips over the years, but they took time to volunteer, and they said, Derek, no joke, it was the highlight of our whole entire Disney vacation was the time that we took to go to Give Kids the World. And now we're going to try to carve out some time on every single vacation. So it's something that will last way beyond when your volunteer time is done.
Yep. And then if you're just looking for, a way to donate, if you're not interested in one of these fancy shirts, or if you're not interested in the cruise and you just want to just make a general donation to Give Kids the World, we have a custom donation link also at keyholdervacations.com/kindness. I think that does it for our Keys to Kindness campaign. And we're going to segue into a segment that Amy and I actually recorded about a week or two ago with Alysha, who is now a member of the Monera financial team.
Yeah, and we're just so thankful that she took the time. Her and her family, they were a Wish family because of her son, and just takes a lot of courage, for a mother who's lost their child to come and talk about their experience, talk about what Give the Kids the World has meant to them and why they continue to come back and volunteer, themselves, and why they love seeing, support for this organization. And Alysha is very special to us because she came to us from the DVC fan community. And so when we were looking for, and I talk about this a little in the interview as well, but when we were looking for a new loan originator, I met Alysha at DVC Fan Summerfest and just knew right away, like this girl needs to work for me. And she's been fantastic, ever since. So
I remember sitting down at a table with her and her husband and just starting up a general conversation with them because they came to Summerfest, and she had a Give Kids the World shirt on. And I asked her if she'd been to the village and done anything with the village. And that kind of just worked into that conversation. And then also, talking about her career and everything. And there's never been a moment, I think, that Amy and I kind of just go back to time and time again that we keep replaying. And it's so special that she is a part of our organization now. And it's special for us that she wanted to sit down and share her story with you all.
Alysha, thank you so much for joining us today. And for those of you meeting Alysha for the first time, she is very special to us for a couple of reasons. First, we met Alysha at the DVC Fan Summerfest event in August, and she is part of the DVC fan community. But when we met and talked with Alysha, we also learned that she is a loan originator. And at the time, Monera was looking for a few loan originators. So it just so happened that Alysha now works for Monera with me as a loan originator. And we are so, so lucky and thankful to have her. She's been a rock star since she started just in August. But Alysha, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So I am from a very small town in southern Illinois, and my husband is actually military. So we actually move around a whole lot. We actually got into the DVC community about a year ago, really fell in love with the DVC fans, took that opportunity over the summer just to kind of take that chance, meet Amy and Paul and just the whole group. And they're just so amazing. And I feel completely blessed now to kind of have that opportunity to work with Amy on a daily basis and kind of do what I still love and originate loans with them.
So, Alysha, we're so thankful that you're here, and especially to share something that's so deeply personal. To start, would you be willing just to tell us a little bit about your son, Brody? Because we're going to talk a little bit more about your connection to Give Kids the World. But tell us about Brody and some things that made him special.
So Brody was just the sweetest, most well-behaved little boy that I could have ever dreamed about. He had not only blonde hair, it was completely white. And he was so smart. He had a vocabulary that could blow anybody away. He really loved Legos and video games. Those were two of his favorite things. And me and him used to go on the weekends to zoos together. And whenever he was actually starting kindergarten, he had told me that he wanted to be a zookeeper whenever he grew up.
Alysha, no parent ever imagines receiving the kind of news that you did. When Brody was diagnosed, how did that reshape your family's world?
So Brody was actually diagnosed around Christmas time, and he was diagnosed with a very rare T-cell lymphoma. And almost instantly, our lives had completely changed. We went from being excited to him starting kindergarten to almost immediately spending all of our time in the hospital. The chemotherapy that Brody was on actually required him to be admitted with each round that he had. And after he had finished the chemo, he went straight into a bone marrow transplant. And it seemed like our lives had just completely transformed to only being at the hospital. We had relocated states so that he could have a better doctor. And I had quit my job so that I could care for him full time. And it was a lot of big changes all at once with that diagnosis.
Yeah, I can't imagine. During the time that Brody was in treatment, what helped you and your family get through those long days and those hard moments?
Honestly, I kind of just feel like you just have to take those things a day at a time. We really just tried to kind of focus on those small things, such as watching his favorite shows. He really enjoyed watching people on YouTube play video games. I never just quite understood that. We would also play with Lego sets and build those in the hospital. And the hospital that we were at actually had bicycles for the kids so that they could go around them in the hallway. And we also learned kind of pretty early on that Brody would qualify for a Make-A-Wish. So that kind of gave us the opportunity to kind of have something positive to kind of plan why we were in the hospital.
So tell us a little bit more about Give Kids the World. How did you first hear about the Give Kids the World Village and the wish trip process?
So during one of our first hospitalizations, our assigned social worker at the time actually shed some light that Brody would qualify for that Make-A-Wish. While she was in the process of getting him approved, we took that opportunity to kind of learn what Brody would like for his wish. It didn't take him too long. He wanted to go to Legoland. That was his dream. So once he was approved, we worked with Make-A-Wish coordinators, and they kind of planned the whole process for us. And they had let us know that any kids that wish to go down to Orlando for any of those amusement parks actually would stay the week at Give Kids the World Village. And that's kind of how we first learned about it.
Okay. Can you describe your family's first impressions upon arriving at Give Kids the World Village?
So almost immediately, you could just tell that this place was made for kids. So all of the buildings are in bright, fun colors. You could see a train that the kids could ride on. There's a carousel and a sleeping tree. And the volunteers there are just as amazing. They're always there just kind of offering any type of help that they can, whether that be taking a tray to a table for you or to give you a ride around the village. And as a parent, it just kind of felt like you knew that your kid was going to have a week that they could just be a kid again.
Alysha, you mentioned that Brody loved Legos, but some of your most treasured moments happened right at the village. So what do you remember mostly about those days at the village?
So I just remember one of the nights, Brody just spent what seemed like hours just staring at this model train set that they have at the village. He was completely mesmerized by this thing. It just had so many tracks that the trains went on, and there was a ton of buttons that the kids could push just to make things around the town kind of go, such as airplanes fly or the fire truck sirens to go off. So he enjoyed that, but he really enjoyed the ice cream too. The kids could actually have ice cream anytime that they wanted. They could have ice cream for breakfast if they wanted.
So what stood out to you about the village and how it's designed for children with medical needs and mobility challenges?
So they really make sure that inclusion is at the heart of everything that they do. All the amusement rides, such as the carousels, is made so that kids in wheelchairs are able to go on them. The pool even had water wheelchairs so that the kids could go into the pool. it was really made so that no kid felt like they were going to be left out.
When Paul and I volunteered there, we did the carousel, and that was such a great experience. It was a little scary for us being left in charge of an amusement ride, but we were really amazed at the level that they go to make everything so accessible for everyone, and just seeing the families, with their children enjoying that together. That was really a highlight for us. So you told us a little bit about, the train display, and some of the other aspects of the village. Were there any other moments where you saw Brody experiencing true joy that you just won't forget?
So my absolute favorite memory of Give Kids a World was just the time that Brody was able to go and swim at the pool. It seems so small, but at the time, Brody actually had a central line in place where he had not even been able to kind of splash around in the bathtub. And just about a couple of weeks prior to our trip, he had that removed. And I don't think I saw his smile as big as I did while he was running around the splash pad that they have there and being able to swim in the pool with his cousin.
So you shared that Brody passed away a year after your visit. First, we're so sorry to hear about your loss. What has it meant to you and your family to be able to return to the village in the years since as an alumni?
So, just being an alumni, it just gives us the opportunity, especially for my daughter, who was only a baby at the time, just to go back and kind of experience those same places that her brother had so much joy at. She's been able to ride horses in the same spot, eat ice cream, see the villa that we stayed at. And each time that we go, we actually make it a point to go to the Castle of Miracles to see Brody's custom star that he has there, just to feel that connection with him.
That was actually going to be my next question. So we are going to publish an article that you wrote that just tells a little bit about your experience. But one of the things that I really noticed was that you talked about the Castle of Miracles. We've had the opportunity to stand inside there and see all of the stars. But just tell us a little bit more. What goes through your mind now when you stand in that space?
I just feel completely humbled. I mean, each star kind of represents a different kid and family that the Give Kids a World has had an impact on, and been able to give just kind of a week where those families can escape from all their medical troubles and just have something great to kind of look forward to.
Yeah. How has Give Kids a World continued to be a part of your healing journey? You and Natalie and Cody, how has it been part of your guys' journey?
So Give Kids the World in our healing journey, just because it's just not a place. It's a place full of memories for us. So I've actually had that opportunity now to kind of go back and be a volunteer at the village, just to kind of be able to give memories to other families that are going down there for the week.
So tell us a little bit more about your volunteering experience there. What is it like being on the other side as a volunteer at the village?
So me and my sister actually went down for a full weekend to be able to volunteer. We did everything from help with the horseback rides to operating the rides that they have there. But one of my favorite memories that I'll never forget was actually picking out custom pillows for Button, who is a squirrel that plays hide and seek with the kids. And I'll never forget one of the moms coming up and just being like, how did you know exactly what pillows my kids would love? The kids actually ended up giving us little buttons that said, thank you for making my wish magical.
So there is just, I think a lot of people don't realize, especially when it comes to volunteer opportunities, how many different things there are to do, scooping ice cream and delivering pizza to horseback riding, helping with the carousel and the rides. What would you say to somebody who is considering volunteering or donating, but they don't quite know the importance or the impact that they might have?
So by donating or volunteering at the village, you're helping create a week of lasting memories for these families, just to give them that escape from all of those hard stuff that they're facing daily. You might think that you're just kind of giving time or money, but what you're really giving them is joy, laughter, and just a break from all the hard stuff that they face every single day.
Alysha, tell us a little bit more about why you believe that supporting Give Kids the World, especially during a campaign like Give Back November, is so important.
So I really don't think a whole lot of people know that Give Kids the World even exists unless you've kind of had that personal experience. You don't really truly learn just how amazing this village is and the impact that it has on so many families' lives. I think that's why it's really important to support causes like Give Back November, because it does help spread awareness.
Yeah. Is there anything else before we go that you would like to share with families, friends, supporters, anyone listening today who wants to make a difference?
I say just don't underestimate the difference you can make, whether it's donating, volunteering, or just helping spread the word about Give Kids the World, because every little bit truly does matter. You might think that it's something small, but to these families, it can mean the whole world.
Alysha, thank you so much. This is not an easy conversation by any means, but we're so thankful that you decided to come on the show to share your story, to share the importance of this amazing organization and what it means to families. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for shedding some light on Give Kids the World.
Again, such a wonderful story, and thankful that Alysha chose to share that with us, just to give some more perspective as to how impactful what everything you guys donate to Give Kids the World does for that organization and for the people that are impacted by it. And thank you to you for kind of hosting that interview. That was great.
Yeah, that was my first hosting. So maybe I'll do some more in the future.
While we've been talking and just talking about Give Back November, Jeff is not even looking at the screen right now because he's signing up for the Gingerbread 5K as we speak. So he is busy doing that. But just to recap real quick, again, this is such a special month for us. I hope that you've stuck around with us. I know it's not our usual content. It's a little bit more serious of nature, but that is because of how impactful your donations are to this organization and how special it is to all of us on this show. So to recap real quick, Derek, if you want to spin around real quick again, stand up, do a little dance. This is our Keys to Kindness t-shirt.
Hey, that was really good.
That was a great,
that was amazing.
Perfect. Our Keys to Kindness t-shirt is available for sale with all proceeds going to Give Kids the World. Head to keyholdervacations.com/kindness. Throughout the month of November, portion of all proceeds from our Keyholder brands, DVC Resale Market, Rental Store, Monera Financial, Be Our Guest Vacations, Magic Vacation Title. I keep thinking I forget someone.
I feel like you're forgetting someone too.
But I Unlocked Magic. That was it.
I knew I was
Samsonite.
I arrived at it like 1 second after you did.
But yeah, a portion of all the proceeds from sales from our companies will be going back to Give Kids the World during the month of November. The one that we're really excited about is the opportunity for you to head on our Keyholder Vacations group cruise with us July 20th through the 24th, 2026. Get your raffle tickets and get your raffle tickets at keyholdervacations.com/kindness, and one lucky winner is going to have an amazing vacation, and all of that money is headed to Give Kids the World. Donate, volunteer, anything else I'm forgetting, guys?
No.
I don't think so.
If you've been on the fence about buying that 50-point contract, that 100-point, that 500-point contract, do it in November. Do it in November. Have some of that money go towards Give Kids the World, and it will make you feel a lot better when you get the annual due bill that comes in January. You'll feel much better.
Annual due bill.
Single due. One due.
One due. And Keys to Kindness, we didn't talk about this, but whoever donates the most gets the key to Derek's house. So that's pretty cool, just for the weekend.
Yeah, you were there last weekend and you stole one of the extra sets, right?
I did, yeah.
That was the surprise.
Hotel de Boer is
Surprise,
pretty
Derek.
fantastic, I have to say.
We told you we had a surprise for you on this episode. There you have it. Well, I just want to thank you all, our incredible community, in advance for everything that you do as part of this campaign. We know it's going to be better than ever, and we're so excited to see where you guys take it. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of the DVC Show. Head to keyholdervacations.com/kindness, and we will see you next Monday.